Happy holidays to you all. I hope you guys are doing well today. So I think today's about time we're going to cover the Assassin's Royal tier list. And our first character here is Red. Now I'm not going to display pictures of her abilities and what their skills do because it takes up a lot of space while making these things. But without further ado, let's get started. So Red here is obviously the origin of Little Red Riding Hood. Her weapons are a pair of scissors that can be split into two and use them to do some pretty cool combos, nasty air skill trade-offs like you can see what I'm doing with this guy here. And basically, she's pretty good on both team modes and solo modes. If you fight against someone who's not played the game before, you're going to expect them to just wait out until you whiff an attack, and then they will most likely ground skill, and then you can punish from there after you create the certain punishment you want to do. Now, Red does a 4 combo ground auto, which just slashes her scissors basically. Her air auto is a downward spike, and yes, it can spike really hard if they're at full HP with the stealth ability. Now, Red's abilities mainly focus on her stealth, that being the speed, the amount of duration it can have, and also the other two abilities are the damage, which I know one is called Rage, where if they're at 30% or a certain amount of HP, they take more damage, and of course the rare ability, where you do more damage while in stealth. Now, given from what I know, when Red was my former main back in the old OG days of Smash Legends back in 2021, she would have the most broken, attack range as a melee character, and her skills would be, a lot faster to compare to what it is now, and she's been nerfed to the ground, at least, 20 times now from what I've seen. But, Red is a small, nimble character who's pretty good at being stealth and applying pressure. The only problems with her is in team modes where you just want to be aware with your surroundings, because going into stealth does give you super armor, so if you're about to get attacked, you can escape with it and take minimal damage and just perform your combos from there. Now with Red, the most known combo is air skill to air auto to ult into another air auto if you can time it correctly. She has some other cool skills like auto into alt ledge spike. That one's a pretty hard one to master, but throwing that aside, I just think Red is just one of the most basic one of the most fundamental characters in the Smash Legends roster. She's not that hard to learn, but she is kind of hard to master the combos with. But anyone could just play Red and then just become within good, and can become good within a few short amount of days or hours. But the ultimate tier, if I was gonna say, in dual modes, she's definitely an S tier because, 1v1 insane combos and just immense amount of damage. In team modes, I'm gonna rate her as probably a high A tier to a low B, mainly because team modes are not her thing unless you can try to hit 2 people at once. But overall, she's a really good character, and overall wise, I'm gonna put her as an A tier because she has some weaknesses, but it can be fixed easily. Now, I know y'all been wanting me to play Ali for quite a time now, but I plan on actually making a montage. I plan on making that sometime soon later in January, probably either mid-January or early January, because I'm making one more project after this video and then I'm done for the year. But anywho, Ali has 2 knives in hands, and he can do some pretty cool attack tricks. His skill, he can throw one of his knives and teleport to it. However, though, it is very punishable if you miss. And what his ultimate does is it just scatters your other knives, scatters around 5 to 6 knives, and they return to you like boomerangs, depending on where you are. Now, the ability that would go really good with it is, I think it's called Nowhere and Everywhere, where you gain stealth and you move super fast with it. However, I don't run that because I'd rather prefer damage over damage and amplification stuff over speed. And well, as you saw there, the combo you can just throw your knife and teleport and they will come straight to you. However, I wasn't planning on getting attacked like that though. And so dual modes, he can be a bit of a trouble because his knives go in horizontal areas and can cover wide range if you hit more than one person and if they walk into it. His autos are a 4 count horizontal attack where he just slashes in his way. His air attack, as you can see, just makes him slash 1 time into the direction he goes. And his ground skill and air skill are the same, where you saw he throws the knives and teleports it directly to it when you press the skill button again. Now, the thing about Ali is you gotta be kind of precautious with his stuff because like one bad air auto or one bad skill and you teleport to him and literally there's no one there can lead to a pretty punish situation on you. And well, you don't want that happening. Now, I can't say much for Ali because I haven't played him that much long to know his basic ultimate tiers, but if I was to be honest, I'm gonna put him for duels. I would put him as like a A tier because he's actually really strong if you can actually connect your hits and autos and your skills and do some pretty amazing, decent combos. I almost said amazing, Jesus Christ. And in team modes, he's actually kind of pretty beneficial. I'll put him as an A tier there as well because his skills can just do basically amount of damage and can also hit more than one people if you can strategize your attacks and skills right. So basically overall, basically without saying, he's just basically an A tier overall. He's not S because, well, he has some downfalls like the knives. And sometimes I think there is a glitch where if you throw the knife near the edge of the map and you start falling down. But other than that, I have no other further information about Ali because I haven't played him as much. So I've given him an overall A tier. He's big and he's bad and he's a wolf. What the hell am I saying? Anyways, yep, we got Wolfgang here, the big bad wolf on most of the stories. He actually is really good against offense and applying pressure. His defense, though, could be a bit wonky because his recovery time on some attacks are a bit big. And, well, his abilities mostly amplify his damage. And also there's an ability where each time he gets a kill, he stacks up more damage and loses the effect every time he is smashed. It doesn't benefit at all in duels because, you know, you'll just keep trading off stocks and you'll just keep losing the effect, especially when it comes to playing passive players. You're just playing really campy characters. But it's more effective on team modes because each time you can get a kill, you can say, like, you can also amplify another ability. So, like, if the damage stacks from the full Blood Moon, or whatever the ability is called, you can stack the damage of, like, the one ability where it increases your ultimate damage when your opposing is at 50% or less health. Or you can stack it with the one ability where you do more damage each time you land a skill, and that'll just lead to more damage and just insane pure gameplay right there. And you could just keep healing with your ult if you can manage to hit them off the map. And yeah, Wolfgang has that function where if you ult them off the map and they can't manage to recover, you still do get the health. Now, some insane combos with him, I would say, are the ground skill or air skill to ult, ground skill and then full auto chain, and of course the auto and into the ult. It's one of the greatest abilities of all time. And his ult does give super armor, so if you need to use it to, like, tank a hit or just escape something, sometimes that's the best way to use it. And otherwise, if you see someone at low HP, you want to try to eat them and get the health back that you're missing. I would kind of say, though, the only problems with him are that he kind of has a big hitbox for some wide range attacks, and his recovery time on some of the attacks are a bit big, and the startup on his air skill mainly is just a big no, because it used to be like instantly like OG Red. But anyways, I would kind of say Wolfgang kind of benefits both modes, though in many different ways. Dual modes, I would give him an A tier, because though he may not be as strong as he usually was, which would have given him the S tier, he's still actually a powerful beast that can pack a lot of damage. And team modes, I would also give him an A tier just because he can't, handle a lot of opponents at once unless he attacks them at the same time. But overall, that makes him an A tier, so give him a try. You never know how good this wolf can be. Now, if y'all think Master Cat is the only crutch character, think again. Snow is another one of those crutch characters that everyone likes to call. Literally, everyone just wants to do is just walk around with that one ability where if you don't get hit for a few seconds, your damage gets buffed until you get hit again. Whether it be from your opposing legend or an environmental damage, you will lose the effect. His other abilities include where his skill gets buffed after using his ultimate, which is just a dash. And his autos are literally just slashes of his sword, ground being 3 slashes like that, and then his air skill is just a 2-hit sword slash in the air. Now, given he is a crutch character, he actually does have some combos. Classic one being skill, ult, and then auto, if you can time it correctly. Another one that someone taught me was where if you have your ultimate and they have a high amount of HP, you can do auto ×2 and then ult and then just do a full auto from there, and you can stack some pretty good damage there. Now Snow, he's one of those characters that's basic to learn. He was a rare before the revamp of the game, and he's originated from Snow White, obviously in the Seven Dwarves, because he's Snow and his master's 7D. Enough about lore anyways. His kit can be pretty good if you're a really good Snow player. Really good Snow players are really annoying because they actually know how to utilize him, while as the noobs just camp out their opponents by just playing passive until waiting for their opponent to whiff, and just do nothing but boring gameplay. Now, really good Snow players actually know how to combo with him and actually hit multiple opponents with one air skill when it comes to team modes. Other factors that can help benefit Snow is his ult can not only be used just for combos, but you can also use it to evade attacks. So like say if like a Nui ult's about to come at you and you just use the ultimate just to get away from it. Well, obviously I didn't use it there because I didn't think of it at that time while I'm making this video. But anywho, Snow is just one of those characters that's easy to learn, just like Master Cat, which everyone claims to say is a crutch character. But now you can't be complaining because Snow is also one of those crutch characters. But Jacko's worse. But anywho, Snow in duels is obviously going to be a big S tier because his kit is just amazing and people just know how to cheese him and camp people out with it. Look, there, see, just like that. That's how you can evade with the ultimate, just like that. And like that too, as I dodge that attack. Continuing to the ratings, team modes, I would also rank him as a S tier because just the amount of utility this basic character can actually have and an impact on a game it can cause. So basically overall, Snow is just an S tier. Though I remember I think Smash GG gave him like a C tier. But again, Dev PK and his idiots are just not meant to develop this game. And last but not least, we have this tiny red little and well, his kit is not that basic, it's a bit advanced, but he is a pretty good assassin. Kurenai is from the Red and Blue Oni story. I'm sure most of y'all know it if you played Genshin. But anyways, Kurenai's autos are with his sword, obviously. His ground auto is a ×4 hitting ground auto slashes forward, or any direction he goes into. His air auto is a 3-stage air auto where he just slashes in the air and slashes his opponents upwards. Now, if you know the meta with Kurenai, a lot of people would run Aggression and Lightning, and I have now become one with the meta users. Mainly because, you know, I be fighting annoying opponents and I just want to exact my revenge on them and just do what I do best. But Kurenai, his ultimate does give super armor, so you can use it to do damage or to tank a hit or to basically just, you know, get out of any situation you need. Now, Kurenai was a lot more stronger because it would have the one ability where you would launch more shurikens, and the last one would do like a lot more damage, I think. And then they reverted it to where it's only just throws one more additional shuriken and you could just deal a lot of damage with that one singular shuriken. I don't find that ability fun anymore because it's just, they just basically butchered it, but they still have the one ability where if you get a kill, then you instantly regain your ult back, and that's called Ninjutsu Fire. He does have the mechanics where he can scoop up more than one people with his skills, so if you can see an opportunity to do it, you better best do it right now. And his shurikens do not pierce, so you can't do, you know, the max amount of damage to both like targets, say if you were to hit 2 of them with your ult. But overall, there's not much else to say about Kurenai other than he's just a small little nimble boy that can do a lot of damage and combos when it comes to being the Oni he wants to be to impress his friend Aoi, the Blue Oni, or Mommy Aoi is what you call her. But anywho, Kurenai in duel mode he's not as strong as he used to be, so I would probably say like an A tier because his damage was a bit nerfed prior to how he is now, and most of his kit is just a bit undertuned. And well, in team modes, as you can see, obviously, I'd rank him as not an S tier. I would actually put him as a high A tier as well. because he can't do much mechanics when it comes to, you know, attacking in groups, but he can apply some pressure when it comes to protecting allies and just applying pressure. So basically, overall, that just makes him an A tier, because he's not as strong as he used to be, but he can still apply a lot of damage, pressure, and just do a lot of amazing combos. And well, there you guys have it, the Assassin's Royal tier list. There was only 5 assassins, so there wasn't that much to cover. But again, this was my own personal tier list. We all have different opinions. If you want to let me know what you thought, let me know in the comments respectfully. Thank you very much, because it's the holidays. We don't want any mean, grouchy people in the comments, especially if I keep saying when Master Cat is not a crutch character. Throwing that aside. But hope you all enjoyed this tier list video. Roles I still have to cover are Specialist, Vanguard, and Support. So let me know what role I should do next. But after this, I'm going to do like probably 1 to 2 more videos, and then that's it for the year. Well, hope you all enjoyed. Happy holidays, in case if I don't talk again for the next few videos I make, which are probably going to be montages. But have a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and I'll see you guys around. Peace.